Take 3. Globalization seemed to first be discovered as a big buzzword when Christopher Columbus made his first voyage to the Caribbean. That could have been the biggest turning point in intertwining countries. Trade started happening with China and Europe and started to expand in the global market. We have learned a lot about globalization in the last decade and how much it's flourished for the countries with power. Globalization has impacted the way we live, the food we eat, and the clothes we wear. But there's a lot wrong with how we get some of those things. The countries that flourish off of globalization are the power countries, and the rest are left to do the little things because they don't have as much to offer. The big mistake is letting the big name corporations take over. But there's never going to be a stop to globalization, and there shouldn't be. The big corporations are taking poor countries for granted and giving them low-paying jobs that wouldn't be even close to enough if they were living in a better society or a country like we do. Profits rise, millions starve, is how most people see it, but people won't change. Globalization needs to promote the right to life, the right to have a fair wage, and the right to not be held as a slave. And that's almost what we are doing to them, making them slaves to powerhouse corporations and countries. I've realized that one person can make a huge impact on how people view the world, good and bad. Like Iqbal, who had been able to escape the abuse of child labor. He even managed to help over 3,000 kids escape as well. He received the World Children's Award in 2000 for his bravery. I learned a lot about myself and others this year exploring the world and what conditions some people are living in. It was shocking and it made me very thankful for what I have here. The life that other people live to just survive in poor countries is much more different than trying to just survive in a rich country. It's even given me a lot more perspective on how life, a lot more perspective on how life and how people act and live. Most of my clothes are from other countries, and the amount of money they wear for how much they are getting paid is unfair. My clothes are a big part of me and who I am, but it kind of makes me mad to think that this could be made by a little kid that's getting paid nothing. I'm going to try and buy stuff I know comes from factories that aren't treating their workers like slaves, as well as using less materials, less water, and less electricity to reduce my footprint. I think critical thinking is big in today. I think everyone should be able to view different sides of a topic in their head. It helps you to not have a fixed mindset and lets you think of all the different possibilities and outcomes. I learned that I'm a little fish in a big sea. I learned how to open my mind into new perspectives and new ideas, and how it would feel if I was in their shoes. I learned about different concepts and ways I should use every day, and also not to judge a book by its cover. There's a lot of risks that people have to take and a lot of struggles they have to go through just to feed themselves or their families. I know I have a deeper understanding on why they do it and why they take the chances they do. I didn't take advantage of my redos because I was lazy, and I could have done more and a lot better in this class if I put my mind to it and worked more in class. I usually didn't have all my stuff done, so that was a big issue. If I were to take the class again, I would work harder, listen more, and think outside the box a lot more. My advice to myself would be, my advice to myself would be, work harder, do your work, and talk less in class. I had a lot of fun this year and learning everything I did. For next year, I know how hard I need to work and the things I need to improve on. Thank you. It was fun.